Hello everyone, this is an informative video concerning the new changes to tanks in Final Fantasy XIV after the 3.2 patch. I will begin explaining the changes themselves and then talk a little bit about why they were made in the first place. First, let's go over each individual tank because each got a few changes, most notably Paladin. So the Paladin's Fast Blade TP was reduced from 70 to 60, which is incredibly good because this is literally their combo starter, meaning every combo now has an overall reduction of 10 TP. Savage Blade got increased enmity, Goring Blade got increased potency, plus the Dot got increased potency, Royal Authority got increased potency as well. Basically, every one of the Paladin's big damaging moves got a buff. Clemency's casting duration was decreased, so it is actually more viable for Paladins to heal all the party members and themselves using that. Divine Veil's cooldown was decreased as well. Sword and Shield Oaths no longer interrupt your combos, and Shield's damage penalty was decreased and enmity gain was increased. So Paladins are basically looking really good. There is zero reason why any group would not want a Paladin in their party because of the fact that they can bring so many things to the table. They have now a very good amount of DPS, and they also have things such as Hollow Ground and other cooldowns that make them very, very powerful. Moving on, the Warriors. Only change was the increased enmity for Defiance. Really, that's all they needed. They don't need any other buff. For Dark Knights, Heart Slash, Soul Eater, and Delirium all got reduced TP costs by 10. So the only real way a Dark Knight can run out of TP at this point would be in a very long fight where they are constantly attacking. Like Shield Oath and Sword Oath, Grit does not interrupt combos and has increased enmity. Darkseid's MP cost has been reduced by 1/3, but only in PvP. So cool. Stances don't screw your combos, Paladins got buffed to hell, Dark Knights has less TP issues, and Warriors are still, Warriors. But you may be wondering, well, why did they all get higher enmity generation while in their tank stances, right? And, well, this is because of what I'm gonna be talking about next, which is tank DPS. That's right, tank's DPS got nerfed, but don't panic, it's not the end of the world. It could have been way worse. For the most part, if played correctly, a tank can still blow an inexperienced or undergeared DPS out of the water, and their DPS is still somewhat needed in raids. Is it needed as much as before? No, but needed anyway, as is healer's DPS, at least in the very first few weeks of raiding. But you may be asking, well, how did they manage to nerf their DPS? Well, it all lies in math, obviously, and it only took me a few minutes of playing around with my tanks to realize how the numbers worked. So first things first, strength is no longer the only factor involved with tank DPS, but vitality also does. So adding more vitality increases the damage you're doing. For tanks, 1 point of strength is actually equal to 1 point in vitality. What does this mean really? Well, if you put a piece that has only 50 strength, for example, nothing else, no other stats, only 50 strength, then you take it off and put a piece that has 50 vitality, the damage you will be doing will be exactly the same. There will be no difference. The only difference would be the fact that you have more HP because you have higher vitality. So in the end, the more optimal way of going about this is putting on vitality gear because you kill two birds with one stone. Before patch 3.2, the attack power of a tank was, in scale, equal to that of a strength-based DPS. So, for example, if a warrior and a monk with the same amount of strength and 0 on every other stat used a 200 potency attack, both would do the same damage. However, 1 point of strength and vitality for a tank now equals 0.45 of a DPS. In other words, it requires a tank to have 2.1 points in strength or vitality in order for them to equal 1 point on a DPS. How did I figure this out? Well, easy. Look at this stat down here called attack power. As a DPS, this would equal whatever the main stat of your class is, but you will notice that this is slightly off for the tanks. All you gotta do is add the strength points and vitality points, then multiply them by the scaling, which is 0.45, and there it is. This is the actual amount of DPS you're dishing out. But why the scaling? Well, they had to do that because of the left side gear. The left side gear has both strength and vitality, meaning if they had kept strength as it was and added vitality to the mix, tanks would literally stack up damage and do absurd DPS. The nerf was done so the DPS progression was always slightly behind that of DPS, with the stacks of both vitality and strength they got from the left side pieces. Personally, I don't think this is a bad thing at all. Tanks now have insane health and are way tankier than they've ever been before, which means healers have even more chance to actually DPS, and the healers would matter more in that sense as well. Besides, I've always loved seeing high health numbers on myself. It feels amazing when compared to like every other role in the game, when you see yourself having like 10,000 more health than the next person. So, I mean, what do you guys think? What is this a good change? Is this a bad change? Was Square Enix right in doing this? And yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and have fun making those vitality builds, guys. Because that's what we're gonna be doing for the next couple patches, it seems like. And yeah, that's it. Peace.